and services sector where there is a projected what you call offensive interest for government of India, mainly with regard to the mode 4 of the professionals will be working at a short pace. At the same time, while India will be opening its market, it will be open to the these 27 countries as a single market. India will remain as a single market, but the Europe will still be a fragmented market. Even the mode 4 still is within the immigration, it's by and large will be within the immigration departments of various countries. So getting a visa and going there work still is not part of the regulation. It's not part of the negotiation. So this is an important issue. So there would be a projected gains, but these gains will not come through. The developing countries does not have the same level expertise as far as the service trade is concerned. And now we are entering into an uncharted territory by opening up services, and we don't know the consequences. And second important thing is that most of these negotiations are based on negative list. You are just listing sectors which you are not going to open up. And the service classification, the service sector classification is such a complex classification. So in a same service area, in the same sector, different services are classified in different areas. For instance, in the health, the doctors is classified as a professional service, not as a health services. So the moment you decided to open up only the health services, then the professional service is not opened up, then you won't get the service of doctors. So these are the complicated issues.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee terms India as a land of retail democracy, and it is so because we still have the highest density of shops in India, that is 11 outlets per 1,000 population. And we also have the highest number of outlets in India, that is 15 million outlets. And 96% of the whole retail trade is still in the unorganized sector. And 76% of the 15 million outlets are run by families. Majority of shops, to be exact, the 96% once again, are smaller than 500 square feet. So it's basically a question of survival of small, tiny shops, street vendors, fish vendors across India.
Every government has, I don't know for what reasons, but they've been wanting to bring an FTA in retail trade. And to justify their action, international consultants were actually employed, and they gave a picture as if, if the organized trade came here, would come here, they would bring in opportunities for farmers. The farmers would get better price. The consumers would benefit because there will be more competition. That's what they say. And they said it will improve the employment situation in this country. I mean, they tried to mislead the government and the nation. Yes, farmers would get a little better price in the initial stage, but not forever. Consumers also would get better rates for some time. As everybody knows that these large retailers, the large multinational retailers, they indulge in predatory prices. They sell the goods at cheaper rates initially, and then of course once the competition is wiped out, they then exploit the consumer. It's a well-known fact. It's practiced all over the world, and therefore consumers also would be suffering in the long run. Employment, yes, of course, 10,000-20,000 people would be employed in the malls that they would open, but they very conveniently bypassed the actual fact that there are roughly 4 crore small and big traders, medium traders, I won't call them big, they are small and medium traders, they will be finished. Parliamentary committee was appointed, which comprises of all the political parties, and they gave a unanimous opinion to the government that FDI should not be opened. Even that is being overlooked. And the then Prime Minister, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, had announced in the Parliament that FDI would not be opened in retail trade. But unfortunately, they brought in cash and carry wholesale. Now that was a backdoor entry, and everybody knows that cash and carry wholesale is nothing but retail trade, and it they opened their stores in Bangalore, and Bangalore started, and they started indulging in predatory prices. And so we went to High Court, conducted High Court, and they stayed their operation. I mean, they stayed the operation there, this thing, insofar as that they could not, sell agriculture produce in that back room. But the government then went ahead to change the APMC Act, which governs the entry of the agricultural commodities. By that act, they changed the act and they made it model APMC Act. By that act, you see the large retailers were permitted to take the goods directly, bypassing the APMC. So while the Indian, the small retailers, small wholesalers had to go through the APMC, the large retailers were permitted to go without.
The European Union is particularly very aggressive on financial services, to open up financial services. This will have serious consequences in the coming days. Some of these provisions are what you call the predates to the financial crisis. It asks its partners to open up various financial services. One of the provision which attracted my attention is the provision for new financial services. It's there in the EU-Korea agreement, which basically tells that the countries are having, the partners should allow the new opening up of new financial services. One of the causes for the present financial crisis is these type of new financial services. In India, now we are facing a situation where a lot of money has come in the last 3-4 months, and central bank and many other policy makers are very concerned about this money. Nobody knows that when is it going to fly back, and it's a hot money. And Thailand and other countries have already imposed some kind of capital control on this issue, and here debate is still going on to do that. But our worry is that once we have an FTA agreement or an investment agreement, it may undermine the country's powers, or it may incapacitate government of India to put such controls.